But what I wanted to talk to you guys about today was arbitration and contracts and all that stuff. So this conversation came up when I first started working from home. I always thought in my mind like these are just papers to sign just to get the job. But one day I applied for this job and it was this paper that came up, and the lady told me that I couldn't work without signing it. Now, back then, I was so in a rush to get a job because it was 2020. It was nothing to do. And that's when COVID first came about and we was locked up. So I figured, okay, I got to sign this paper to get the job, whatever. So I signed the paper, sent it in. But mind you guys, I also printed the paper out. Something told me to print this page out and just keep it for my records. So I printed the page out and I really didn't have nothing to do. So I thought, okay, just read over the paper. Just, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe it'll stop bugging you and you want to know what the big deal on signing this paper, right? So everything goes about, and I'm just reading the page, and I'm reading the page, and then it comes up on talking about arbitration. And if you guys don't know what arbitration basically is like a person who comes in and mediates and gets to a faster solution without taking it to court. It is cheaper, but it's basically solely looking out for the company and the employer who you are going to start working for. So yeah, it really doesn't benefit you. The only thing that benefits you is you signing the paper and getting a lawyer when it comes to a legal situation with you in that business. And when I say get a lawyer, I mean a lawyer that knows everything about arbitration, who done dealt with it, things like that. So anyways, before you guys even start working, and I know some companies does this, I know Dollar Tree does it, I know Dollar General does it, and the other company does it too, but just look out. All those paperwork and all that paper and stuff they give you to fill out when you're going to apply for a job. Arbitration is somewhere in there. It's an arbitration clause somewhere in that paper. You just have to pay attention to it. Now, mind you guys, if this is the type of job that has a high hiring number, then it more than likely has an arbitration clause within it, okay? Like, if they probably got to hire 15 to 20 people each month, then it's an arbitration clause somewhere in it. You just have to look for it. Or sometimes it's in its own separate page, so just be on the lookout for that. A lot of people not a lot, maybe one or two been asking me about it, and yes, some call centers does have arbitration clause in their paperwork. I know DirecTV has it, I know Netflix has it, and I know for definitely Hulu has it, and I think that's it, but they do have it, so you guys just be on the lookout for that. Now what I will tell you guys is, if they owe you like back pay or something, or they owe you like, if it's small amounts of money they probably owe you, or you got hurt on the job and they trying to keep it hush hush, then you probably will go through an arbitration. But the thing with them owing you small amount back is probably not going to happen unless you have like a lawyer, like I said earlier, that knows what they're doing and has dealt with arbitration. Now, I probably would have to say I went through an arbitration case probably once. And the only reason why I went through that is because of equipment issues. And they was trying to get me to pay for the equipment that I has already been shipped and all this stuff. I think I already put out a video about that, but yeah, we went to court and everything, and they was trying to get me to go through arbitration. At first I was like, okay, let's do it. But then I noticed, like, they don't owe me anything. It's them. I'm going to have to owe them. So, it's not necessary for us to take it through arbitration. And arbitration is something that's secretive. Like, it's nothing that is going to be put out in the public, or it's nothing that the job itself would know about. So, I'm like, nah, let's take it to court, because I'm not paying $750 for something that I have my hands have never been on. So, we went to court. They didn't like us going to court, so they ended up having to pay for, like, the court costs, my lawyer fees. They pay for a lot of stuff. And the things about that is, they didn't like it. And then they tried to come up with this paperwork of me signing an arbitration and all that stuff. And this is after the fact. I kind of sort of figured it out what it really was. And when I started working for this company, I never signed that paper. And when the judge asked for it, they never could produce it. And the only reason why they couldn't produce it is because I never signed it. And then, and I feel like if they knew I never signed it, I probably would never had the job. So, from when I finally figured out what arbitration meant, what it means for me, what it means for the company, I just never signed the arbitration. Even with this company I'm working for now, I never signed the arbitration clause. I never will. And they try to get you because they send you all these paperwork at one time. But, you know, sometimes we have to sit back and read stuff and not be rushed just because we want a job. Everybody want a job, but then when it comes to legal prospects of the job, then we kind of put out because we signed papers that we really didn't have to sign. It was just forced on us to sign it. So that's where I'm at with that. And that's the reason why that case was kind of wiped out, because I had like emails, I had text messages, I had tracking numbers, I had everything in a row. Like, I'm not paying $750 for a computer that is no longer in my possession. So that's what that means. So if you ever was introduced or you in the process of looking for a job now and all this stuff, ask them, do they have a process where you have to sign an arbitration clause? And if they say yeah, or they don't know what you're talking about, I suggest you find like another job, because they know exactly what you're talking about. Arbitration is basically a person who's going to come in that company choose and going to be quote unquote a mediator, but that arbitrator is basically looking out for the company. So that's what I want to say. If you guys want an in-depth video about arbitration and all that stuff, I'm gonna put one out pretty soon. Ooh, girl. So be on the lookout for that. I'm getting hot, so I'm gonna have to end this video. So I will see you guys in my next video. You guys stay smart, stay blessed, and I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.